No matter how much I pretend I'm a girl boss, slay independent woman, I always have to keep in mind that I can't even open a jar of peaches for myself. It was a bad day. All I want are some peaches as a little sweet treat.
If you want anything done, you have to do it your damn self. Every time I ask a man to do something for me, him saying can't do it right now. Damn lazy. Me Ross! But Jesus! Oh God! Me back! Oh shit!
I hooked my washer up by myself. I was feeling, why is it leaking? Fuck. Maybe I didn't do it. Oh shit.
What do you need? You want to put air? Well, how much air do you want to put in it? You feel like it's flat? You need more than air. Okay. Okay.
I'm good. Thank you.
They tend to fall out if you open the window. The window's kind of the only thing actually holding that in place, so.
Women.
Carpentry with Bex. So, you're gonna fucking absolutely butcher this.
Okay.
With that bad boy.
Okay.
And then you're gonna fucking butcher it even more with that bad boy.
Okay.
And then you're gonna do it again on that side.
Okay.
And then on all those sides.
Okay.
And then you're gonna fucking play connect the fucking boards.
She's fit for a straitjacket. This brought 3 ways towards the weekend.
Women.
See my tires flat and I'm around all these cars and all these men like they don't have no time. It's this nice man, y'all can see him walking because he walking back to get his jack. He is the only man that actually tried to stop and help me with my fucking tire.
Oh, but baby.
All of you men that saw me, y'all are a bunch of bitches because if I was just standing outside, y'all would try to holler at me.
Absolutely fucking not.
You see me with my tire flat and you can't do anything?
You're goddamn right.
Fucking ill, little bitty boys.
Have you ever even looked in a mirror?
Come to prove that I am a strong, independent woman.
Okay.
Who don't need man to carry heavy stuff. Okay?
Okay.
This is the time. 3, 2, 1. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, so why do I feel like this is only happening to me? Because I'm a woman.
How's special victims working out?
Okay, so So like this right here is like, you just stop working
Okay.
on me.
Okay.
I'm standing my cabinets away. Does this happen to men?
Absolutely fucking not.
I don't. Sorry, the sand.
So those clips demonstrate just one of many reasons why we need to revoke the vote from modern women, because they are adult infants and therefore shouldn't be given adult rights. But this one is interesting because it's a particular combination that modern women have, which is that they are totally self-obsessed, totally obsessed with how they feel and what they want and what they believe and what they think, and everything about me, completely obsessed with themselves. Yet, at the same time as being completely obsessed with themselves, they have zero self-awareness. It's a hilarious combination. So they spend all their time thinking about themselves, but no time whatsoever being aware of themselves, which is a wonderful paradox. And given my name, you can understand why I like it so much. Self-awareness means that you are aware of how you come across. You are aware of where you sit objectively. So let's say, for instance, you're in school and you're in maths. Now, if you were a complete dummy and an imbecile and a moron who couldn't do simple addition, yet you had no self-awareness, and at the same time you were so obsessed with yourself that you thought you were the best thing since sliced bread, you could go around saying, I'm brilliant at maths, I'm the smartest person at maths ever, simply because your self-obsession, your narcissism, tells you that you are the only person in the world and therefore you are the greatest person in the world. That's the thing with when you're self-obsessed. You always think you're good. You always think you're the best, because when you're self-obsessed, you're only ever thinking about yourself. So you never have a chance to compare yourself to others. You never think about where you are on the bell curve. Now, the chances are, like most people, you're average. But if you only ever think about yourself, you'll never be able to objectively cite yourself within the bell curve. So you'll just assume you're at the top of the bell curve. And that's the case with these women. Because they're self-obsessed, they can go around spouting the feminist girl power slogan, I'm a strong, independent woman, because it sounds good, it feels good, and if all you ever do is think about yourself, why wouldn't you be a strong, independent woman? There's nothing to compare yourself with. You certainly wouldn't compare yourself with somebody who is actually strong and independent, like a man. In your little bubble fantasy world where you are the princess of the kingdom of the world, which is what it means to be self-obsessed, you are the queen of the kingdom that is the world, which is the world of your thinking, your imagination, the world in your head that you live in. Why wouldn't you be strong and independent? And then, of course, you come up against reality. And in reality, you're neither strong nor independent. Like every other human being, you are interdependent. You depend on, for example, the men who build the roads and the buildings and keep the electricity on and the water and the police. You are completely dependent on men. That is what logic, reason, common sense and two brain cells make very clear to everybody who has them. But to a self-obsessed modern woman who doesn't have those two brain cells, because all of her intellectual power is orbiting her ego, so she has no spare intellectual power to understand life or biology or human psychology, human behavior, human society, physics, bigger muscles, etc. So she's got no idea of anything except what she wants to believe. And this is the thing again with self-obsession. And in particular, female self-obsession. Because females make decisions based on emotion, what feels good is true to a woman. Manosphere Highlights Daily calls it the feel-good Kool-Aid, which is spot on. So all you have to do to get a woman on side is to give her the feel-good Kool-Aid, get her to drink the feel-good Kool-Aid, tell her what she wants to hear. Women want to hear that they are strong and independent. And it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, because it feels good. So they will accept it as truth. Yeah, I'm a strong, independent woman, until they slap up against reality. And that's what all those clips showed, is that modern women live in a delusional world caused by their self-obsession, but no self-awareness. Moving on.
So happy for them. Me too. So happy for them. I'm so happy and not at all jealous. I can
Dando la vuelta con las amigas. Ah, no tengo.
Afternoon. What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
Single at 30.
If one more person tell me, you just looking in the wrong places. Well, where's the right ones? Huh? What's the address? How do you get to the motherfucker? Huh? Is it a sign? How do everybody know where the right place is and I just know where the wrong one is? Can somebody tell me this?
I mean, I feel fine. I just cry myself to sleep every night.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
I'm 35 and I'm single. And all my friends are married, and they're always giving me advice. They're just like, Leslie, get out there, just date casually. I'm like, I'm 35, this is urgent. There's nothing casual about my life, okay? I need to text guys at night, be like, are you up for starting a family? I'm running out of time.
Can everyone just like chill the fuck out with like the having kids and like getting engaged shit? Like, I get it, we all have like different life plans, but you guys are stressing me the fuck out. Like, you're making me feel like I'm behind. Like, why is everyone like just popping kids and buying houses and rings on the finger? Like, dude, what? Like, I haven't even gone on more than 5 days.
So I'm that friend who's 25, single. All my friends are married or have serious partners. 2 of my closest friends have babies. And I'm just out here, single, providing them with entertainment. But there are times where being that friend plays on my mind. I'm not gonna lie, like, there are times where I'm like, is someone ever gonna love me fully and wholeheartedly and treat me the way that I deserve to be treated? And yeah, it's scary to think that way. It's scary to give your heart to people. I mean, there's a 50% chance that it's either gonna work or they're gonna break it. But I'm not scared of opening my heart up to people anymore. If they break it, they break it. And while I'm all for protecting your heart and not wanting to get hurt, because obviously no one wants to get hurt, it's not nice. If you put those walls up so strong that you physically don't let anyone in and you're too worried that they may hurt you or you're too worried that it may not work, you're not gonna experience love. And I'm not saying fall in love with every single person you meet, but what I'm saying is there does need to be aspects of you that are okay with giving little bits of your heart.
Now I like her. There's hope for her. She's got a little bit of adult. Unlike the previous clips where the women were just irrational, irresponsible, overly emotional, narcissistic children. Admittedly, at least some of them were sort of taking the piss out of themselves. They were joking about the fact that they're in their 30s and single. So I'll give them that. That shows a little bit of self-awareness. But in general, they do what almost all women in their position do. They cast themselves in the role of victim. Oh, I'm one of the women that's single at 30 and all my friends are getting married and I'm just here alone and I'm like, oh, woe is me, poor me. They cast themselves in the role of victim as if they were just unlucky to be single in their 30s, which is just childish. There's no logic or reason or introspection or accountability, and that's what makes them children. A man in that situation, or a traditional woman, a grown-up, would recognise that you are the common denominator in your life, your relationships, everything that's happening to you, you are the common denominator. Therefore, it's something to do with you. And so the first adult step is to stop playing the victim and take responsibility. There's something you are doing or not doing, or a series of things you're doing or not doing, that have led you to be in your mid-30s and single. Discover what they are and see what changes you can make so that you can not be single in your mid-30s. Yeah, that's the obvious thing to do, but when you are a pathologically immature modern woman, you're just going to end up a cat lady. Now, this woman, she's got a chance because she's got the self-awareness. She's as self-obsessed as any modern woman because they can't help that. They live in their feelings. It's all about how I feel right now. So you're just never going to find, I would say, any woman who is not self-obsessed simply because they live in their feelings. Fair enough. It's also part of a woman's charm as well. In fact, that childlike innocence and silliness is part of a woman's charm. So I wouldn't want to get rid of it completely, but it's not a place to be making decisions from. Anyway, she's got enough self-awareness to recognize that if like most women, you get hurt and then you build walls around your heart, you're just dooming yourself to never find a loving, healthy relationship. If you armor yourself against the risk of pain, you're fucked. And she's got enough self-awareness and enough maturity to understand that. Because at the end of the day, love is a risk. You cannot get love unless you're prepared to be hurt. So good on her for recognizing that. Her problem came when she said earlier on, will I ever find someone to love me the way I deserve to be loved? And that is the spoilt princess block that so many women have. They think they deserve something they're not prepared to give. So these women, they think they deserve the princess treatment, yet they are not prepared to give the prince treatment to a man. This is the main problem with modern women. They want what they're not prepared to give. And this is caused by entitlement. And modern women are entitled for two reasons. Either they were spoilt, around the age of 6 or 7, their development got arrested at 6 or 7 at spoilt princess phase. And so they just feel like they're entitled to Prince Charming or Mr. Right to sweep them off their feet and make them happy, happily ever after like a fairy tale. They literally live in a fantasy where they are entitled to a man, the perfect man, to make them happy. So there's that type of entitlement. Then there's the entitlement that comes from believing nonsense feminist ideology. And feminist ideology, as I've said a million times, is female supremacy. Because feminist ideology, which is Marxist ideology, splits the world into oppressed and oppressor. All women are oppressed victims, all men are oppressing victimizers. And if you think you're an oppressed victim, you think you're morally superior to the villain. So women who believe in feminism feel morally superior. And morally superior is just superior. Women think they're better than men. Feminist women think they're better than men. And if you think you're better, you will be entitled. You will be entitled. You will expect a man to serve you and basically be your pet. And so those are the two types of entitlement. And I would guess for her, it's the spoilt princess rather than the feminist. She doesn't come across as feminist. She's too soft and feminine to be a feminist. So I would say she's got the spoilt princess syndrome. And what she doesn't understand is nobody deserves anything. Life doesn't work that way. You get what you give. You attract what you are. So if you want a man to come along and worship you as a princess, you have to treat him like a prince. It's that fucking simple, but they're so childish, they don't get the most simple thing in life: reciprocation. The law of reciprocation. If you want to be treated like a princess, ladies, learn to treat a man like a prince. And in order to treat a man like a prince, you have to come out of your self-absorption and learn about men. Men have to learn about women to get women. Because you're so different from us, we have to learn some kind of game. We have to learn what women like, what women are like, in order to be able to get what we want, which is sex. You are the ones who are chaste, not chaste as in not whores, chaste as in hunted. And so you don't ever have to learn to do anything apart from look good. But that is a huge trap, because once your youth and beauty wear off, like these women in their 30s that are still single, if you don't know anything about men, if you don't know what men want, you will never get one. So that's step one for this young woman here who I like. Learn about men. Learn that men only want three things: respect, regular enthusiastic sex where you sometimes initiate, and peace. In other words, don't nag him, don't stress him out. Give him space to be a man and do man things, and don't expect him to spend his whole life giving you, fulfilling your needy, childish, needy, narcissistic supply for attention, approval and validation. That's what men want. All men want that. And when you women learn that, you will then be able to treat him like a prince, because you will respect him. You will treat him with respect. You won't have male friends. You won't go on girls' trips. You won't post half-naked Instagram pictures. You will respect him. You will be happy to cook for him, make him a sandwich. You will initiate sex, and you'll enjoy and give him enthusiastic sex. You won't use withdrawing sex as a weapon against him. And you will give him peace. You will allow him to be a man. He doesn't want to talk all the time. He doesn't want to listen to you babble on like a child just to get attention and to be validated because you're so needy, because you're like a child. Use your girlfriends to fulfill your need for approval and validation, attention. Your girlfriends need the same thing, so do it with each other. Don't use your man as an emotional tampon. That's what it means to give a man peace. Any woman that can do what I just said will be treated like a queen, guaranteed, because so few women know how to treat their man like a king. The ones that do, they get snapped up, and every man will agree with me in the comments. If a woman happily gives you respect, sex and peace, you want to do everything for her. You want to give her everything. You will love that woman with all your heart. It's as simple as that, ladies. If you want that kind of love, the Disney fairy tale love that the princess is supposed to get, learn to treat him like a prince. And I can hear both of the modern women that watch my channel complaining from here. What do you mean? I treat my man like a prince. I've treated so many men like princes. They just shat on me. They just dumped me and ghosted me and used me. Yes, I understand. But what's happened there is that your sense of entitlement and the ego that has been puffed up by decades of feminism and however old you are, years of your friends telling you you were a 10 and you were beautiful and you were wonderful and they can't understand why you're single. So years of other women blowing smoke up your ass have given you a massively overinflated sense of your sexual market value. So you think you're a 9 or a 10 and therefore you deserve a 9 or a 10 man. In other words, a Chad, one of the top 10% of guys that 80% of women swipe on Tinder and Bumble and all the dating apps. So basically you are operating out of your league. And so you keep going after guys who only see you as a series of holes to fuck. They don't see you as relationship material because they hardly see any women as relationship material because all the women want them. So they're happy to just keep going from one woman to the next woman. They're happy to have a roster. Now, at some point in their mid-40s, after they've been fucking everything that moves for 20 years, they will tire of it because even men aren't supposed to be that promiscuous. It's hollow and empty and shallow to do that for too long. Eventually you long for genuine loving connection and to build a family. So those men, those fuckboys as you call them, chads as we call them, eventually they settle down. And now you're thinking, well, I'll get one when he settles down. No, you won't, because you need to be a 9 or a 10 to get a Chad. And you're not. 9s and 10s are models, beauty queens, actresses, superstar athletes. You're not. You're not a 9 or a 10. And so the reason you keep getting your heart broken, even though you think you're treating him like a prince, is because he's out of your fucking league. You morons. It's so obvious, but the reason you don't see it is because your egos are so big and your entitlement is so big. Because you're children. You've never grown up. You don't understand the world. You cannot look at anything objectively. You look at everything through the lens of, I am a spoilt, entitled princess that deserves Prince Charming, or through the feminist lens of, I am a victim of patriarchy and misogyny, and men, I'm better than men, and I therefore deserve to be served and worshipped by men. As long as you look at the world through those lenses, you are going to be a cat lady, guaranteed. So drop the ego, drop the arrogance, drop the entitlement, lower your standards. If you're an average woman, which means 5 or 6, 4, 5, 6, if I'm honest, if you're an average woman like 80% of women are, in that range, then look for an average man. Let go of the princess fairy tale. Let go of the fantastical dreams of Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling and all the Hollywood stars. Let go of the dreams of getting one of these super chads, giga chads on Instagram. And grow up. Grow up. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.